Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a frog in my throat. I keep giving blowjobs to Charles Aznavour. I tried sucking a fisherman's friend, but he got really upset. I'll be around there, you know. My impersonation of Dizzy Gillespie, good. No, I'm quite sexually experienced. Well, I'm not a virgin. I've done it once. Not doing it again, I got my head stuck. There's a song in the charts recently. There was a song in the charts a while back. It was about racial harmony. You know, it was about black and white people living together side by side in perfect racial harmony together on pianos. I might be a bit fucking politically naive, you know what I mean? Well, I know the pianos aren't going to solve nothing. Karl Marx never said fuck all about pianos, did he? Not even when he was writing the Yamaha home organ songbook. The extraction of surplus value as best blowers fucking roll out the barrel, isn't it? The extraction of surplus value. Yeah, I think we do need something in this country to unite us. Something I think that we all have in common. And really, there's only one thing that we all share. One thing that we all have in common. And what is it? It's not class or ideology, colour, creed or roots. The only thing we have in common is Dr. Martens' boots. Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens' boots. Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens' boots. Dr. Martens' boots to the world so that everybody could be free. They're classless, matchless, easiest, waterproof and retail only. £19.99. Pretty soon everybody will be wearing those boots with the elbow soles. Your boots will have a meeting. Your boots will take control. Pretty soon everybody will be moving to sound of one beat. Thanks to Dr. Martin, they'll be dancing in the street. So solution to our problems ain't the revolution route. All you have to do is buy a bloody nasty pair of Dr. Martens' boots. No, Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens' boots. Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens' boots. Keep on feeling fascination. Okay, boots, do your stuff! As I was talking about the royal family before, it's one of them cliches that, you know, when the Queen speaks to somebody, you can never remember what the fucking hell she said, you know. That's because she always speaks to her man. She goes, hello, you're a fucking disgusting working class bastard, aren't you? She spoke to me, she spoke to me. You're a deformed little shitbag, aren't you? As you know, it's Albanian cheese fortnight here in Manchester. So I'm going to do some Albanian poetry for you now. In Albanian, with subtitles in semaphore for the hard of thinking, right? Nastro posjedzie, nastro posjedzie, nastro jedzie, nastro posjedzie, posto jedzie, nastro posjedzie, posto jedzie, nastro posjedzie, posto posjedzie, ah, fuck it. So as you know, Albanian's in tonight. Good, this fucking Albanian goes for a job, I know this is. Television fucking humour. So, when you're a television comic like me, you gotta be intensely fashionable, you know. And you've got to keep your ear very close to the ground. I keep my ear very close to the ground, and in consequence I listen to a lot of dog shit. But, one thing you've got to have a catchphrase, you know, fucking catchphrase like Nick Nick or Shut That Door or Zieg Heil. Fucking right, you're fucking about Zieg Heil, fucking right, fucking big fucking muffin head. Fucking dive down, fucking beg into the door. Fucking bastard. Anyway. Another thing you got to do when you're a TV comedian, you got to do impersonations, you know. And people seem to like it if you do impersonations that they've seen on the television, you know. It's TV impersonations. So I'm going to do some TV impersonations. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do my impersonation of the mysterious world of Arthur C. Clarke. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do my tribute to the big band era. Ladies and gentlemen, Glenda! Tommy Dorsey! I've got a very interesting back. Let's do some arse exercises for you. Here's a few more impersonations now. This is from my series, Great Criminals of the 20th Century. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my impersonation of Ronnie Craig. Films of the 20th century, ladies and gentlemen, my impersonation of Meryl Streep in The French Lieutenant's Woman. I'd like to do an impersonation. This is from my series, Great Communist Party Members of All Time. It's not a very big series. I don't know if you used to collect things when you was a kid. I used to collect cigarette cards, you know, like British airships of the 20s or cricketing necrophiliacs of the 1940s. I had every one of them except Winston Churchill. Fucker's been dead 20 years and I'm taking the piss out of him. Fucking dangerous satirist I am, Tell you one thing that really pisses me off at the moment, actually. One is all this fucking keep fit shit, you know. Or like all these fucking aerobics records, you know. All them records like Shape Up and Wank with Felicity Kendall. That's not a lot of wank, innit, For a start, right, Felicity's had a photo taken for the cover of the album in a fucking leotard, right? When she fucking dictates the fucking album, she's sitting there in an armchair with a glass of Guinness and a fucking cigar. Going, 1, 2, 3, 4, stick your foot up your arse now. You're looking good. 5, 6, 7, 8, take your spleen out, bounce it on the top of the head. You've lost some weight already. I'm gonna start this fucking movement. It's called Keep Fat. That's what fucking symbol that is. I'm gonna start doing all these records, you know, the science of chair aerobics, you know. Sit down in the chair, drink some fucking lagers. You put on 18 stone already. Switch on the television, watch some fat bastards throwing arrows at the wall. I must admit, that darts on television has been a big step forward for fat bastards. What a fucking sport, eh? All you have to do is drink fucking lager and smoke embassy all the time. I've been doing that for fucking years, nobody ever televised it. What fucking great athletes as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the great hope of England, Dave Fart. Fucking shirts as well, you know. Look like they come out of a book called 1,001 Things to Do with Fucking Polyester. They all look like a fucking row of seat covers for a Dutch motor coach, you know. Another thing I I was thinking about the other day, actually, was, actually, those of you who still got jobs, right? Not many people. Those of you who have actually got jobs, right? I'd like you to think for a minute, right? I'd like you to think about your boss, right? Isn't he an absolute fucking dickhead? Isn't your boss always a total fucking knobhead, eh? That fucking great system we got where total fucking Wally always gets to the top, you know? And he's usually a bloke, you know, he's punching around going, 5 cups of coffee, please, Sandra! Just off to a meeting with some client, Sandra! That's alright if you fucking work in a glove shop, right? If you work in a fucking nuclear power station and all the fucking alarms going, woo, woo, 5 cups of coffee, please, Sandra! Ever been in one of them offices where there's a sign above the door or somewhere in the office that says you don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. They're all sitting there going... Anyway, on with the impersonation now, and I've been to Manchester before, so I don't know if any of you would actually like to have a guess about who I'm doing the impersonation of. Bolton earlier this year, wasn't it? It's a glaze, you bastard. I'm going to be the first one to say Gandhi. Some fella said that in fucking Melbourne or something, off where he said Gandhi, that's over down, teamed him, you know. I said Gandhi. Well, no, I don't know, anybody else like to have a guess? Brecht, yes. Well, some of the act's different, you know. Bertolt Brecht, yes. Matt Buzzbane. Let's have my fucking brain removed for that. Happy birthday, Sir Matt. Yeah, fuck you, okay. I'm fucking really aggressive now. Well, let's just cool it. Okay, I think there's some bad vibes going on here, you know. Maybe we could, like, all join hands, you know. Then we'd look like a big fence, you know. I'm a bit psychic, actually, you know. I get messages from dead comedians, you know. Hey, well, mind me, rhubarb, all right, fucking a guy called Nostradamus. He was a guy who was writing in the 16th century, you know. He made some really amazing predictions, you know, like he predicted that Tesco's would be open late on Thursdays, you know. Really amazing guy. Anyway, some of you are saying, Bertolt Brecht, who the fuck is he? I don't know, he's a fashion designer. He said never wear brown shoes with a scuba diving outfit. Well, obviously not many of you recognize me, so I show you a little photograph of myself. Over here, yes. This is a photograph of myself when I was a little bit older. Can't tell the difference, can you? Where's Lexi? Where's Bertie? It's fucking terrifying, isn't it, eh? So these people making money out of looking like Marilyn Monroe and Humphrey Bogart. I look like a fucking East German playwright. The fucking hell can you do with that, eh? You're going to pay me to star in a fucking Campari advert, are you? Bertolt Brecht meets the invasion of the killer tomatoes. I was unemployed for a long time, and one of the things about unemployment actually is hanging about the house, and I'm a bit of a compulsive gambler, you know, so I used to have 5 bob on which window the story would be through on Play School, you know. I'm going to do a triple impersonation now. That's 3 people impersonating each other, rather like an STP candidate. And I'd like some suggestions from the audience about who I should do the impersonations of. Mussolini, George Foreman, the St. Wilfrid School Choir. You bastards. You bunch of fuckers, honestly. You come in here, you sit down, you pay 3 quid, you expect to be entered. Oh, that sounds fair enough, really, doesn't it? Okay, let's let's try the Mussolini impersonation first. Just happen to have this hat here.